Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's performance of Romeo and Juliet live from the Garrick Theatre. 48 hours ago, Richard Madden, who plays Romeo, suffered a severe injury to his ankle. Richard has been working with his doctors and undergoing extensive physiotherapy over the last couple of days, being determined to play this evening. I'm delighted to tell you he will indeed be performing tonight. However, he is still experiencing pain as a result of the injury, and so we have had to make some minor adjustments to the staging of the production that you will see tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is live theatre, live cinema, and the show must go on. And I'm sure that you will join me in wishing Richard and the whole company the very best for tonight's performance of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garrick Theatre, and welcome to audiences joining us in cinemas around the world. The performance will begin shortly, but before then, may we please ask you to ensure that all mobile phones are switched off. Any use of mobile phones during the performance and all unauthorized photography and video recording are strictly prohibited. Thank you.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
my thumb. Do you bite your thumb at me? No, I do not bite my thumb at you, but I bite my thumb. Zokora. You lie!
Fools! You know not what you do!
What? Art thou here among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio! Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee! Have at thee, coward! Hey!
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor's stained steel, will you not hear? What ho! You rancorous beasts that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture, from those bloody hands throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, Sir Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon. Once more, on pain of death, all you depart.
Glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, where, underneath the grove of sycamore, that westward rooteth from the city side, so early walking did I see your son. Toward him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of a wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But all so soon as the all-cheering sun should, in the furthest east, begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed.
Away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself.
Shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counsellor, is to himself, I will not say how true,
But to himself so secret and so close.
so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes. So please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance will be much denied. Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What suddenness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love.
Out.
Of love.
Out of her favour, where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should without eyes see pathways to his will. And where shall we dine? Oh me! What fray was here? And yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. He has much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love? O loving hate? O anything of nothing first create? A feather of lead? Or bright smoke? Or cold fire? Sick health? This still waking sleep that is not what it is, this love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Like such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou dost show doth add more grief to too much of mine own. A love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes, and being vexed, a sea nourished with loving tears. What is it else? Ah, madness. Most discreet. A choking gall and a preserving sweetener. Farewell, my child.
Soft! I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good marksman. Oh, and she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, soonest hit.
Well, in that hit, you'll miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Diane's wit. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor abide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint-seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty. Only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
And she hath, and that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty staffed with her severity cuts beauty off from all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair to merit bliss by making me despair. And she has forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Ah. Teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite in question more. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. And what doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
Yeah, I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound, as well as I, in penalty alike. And 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honourable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying all what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she are happy mothers made.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agreed. Within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store, one more most welcome. Make my number more. Come, go with me. Oh, Peter, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
What? Chow. I am sent to find those names the writing person hath here writ. But I can never find what names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and good e'en, good lady.
Good e'en. I pray, sir. Can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune in my misery.
Oh, perhaps you've learnt it without book. But I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Oh, yes, say honestly, rest you merry.
State lady, I can read.
Oh.
Senior Martin and his wife and daughters.
The County Alcem and his beauteous sisters.
Ah, the lady widow of Vitruvio.
Signor Placento and his lovely nieces.
Mercutio and his brother Valentine.
Mine uncle Capulet and his wife and daughters.
And my fair niece
Rosaline!
A fair assembly, whither should they come?
Up
Whither, to supper?
to our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Oh, well, now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capuletto. And, well, if you be not one of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and, we'll crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, thanks.
At this same ancient feasts of Capulets sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with an untainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendour of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my maidenhead, a 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb, what ladybird? God forbid, where is this girl? What, Julieta?
Now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Oh, nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou hearest our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
I lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teen be it spoken, I have but 4. She's not 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. I never shall forget it. And since that time, it is 11 years, for then could she stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her brow, for then my husband, but God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, just to fall upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dame, the pretty wretch left crying and said,
I.
Well, to see now our jest shall come about. I warrant if I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it.
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Peace I have done. Oh, good mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry. That marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honour that I dream not of.
An honour? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou had sucked wisdom from thy tit.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was a mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady. Lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he is a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he is a flower, i' faith, a very flower indeed.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris' love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I indart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come. Supper served up. You called, my young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry. Oh, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you follow straight.
We follow thee, Juliet. The county stays.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days. Aspe, arrivo,
Shall we on?
We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch. I'm not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you done.
Not I. Believe me, you have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground, I cannot move.
You are the lover, borrow Cupid's wings, and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierce it with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound, I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great a passion for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorns.
If love be rough with you, bear rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor. Yeah, for a visor.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his leg.
A torch for me. Let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire. Boom. Or save your reverence, love, wherein thou stickest up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight home.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay.
And we mean well in going to this mass, but 'tis no whit to go.
Why? May one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see. Queen Mab hath been with you.
Queen Mab? What's she?
She is the fairies' midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn by a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub. Time out of mind the fairest coachmakers, her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider web, her collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner, a small grey-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains. And then they dream of love, or courtiers' knees, who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers, who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweet meat tainted are. Sometime she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then he dreams of smelling out a suit. And sometimes comes she with a tied pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. And then he dreams of another benefice. Sometime she driveth o'er a soldier's neck. And then he dreams of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of healths 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plats the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks in foul, sluttish hairs, which, once untangled, much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is peace!
Peace, Mercutio, peace! And thou talkst of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars doth bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Strike, drum!
Welcome, gentlemen. Aha, my mistresses. Which of you all will now deny to dance? I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. Come, musicians play, give room, and foot it, girls.
Scusi, buonasera. Queste canzoni è per il mio papà. What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast and find delight writ there. With beauty's pen examine every married lineament and see how one another lends content.
Come sono orgoglioso della mia cugina! È bravissima, Giulietta!
And what obscure, brava, in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes this precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory that in gold clasps looks in the golden story, that in gold clasps looks in the golden story.
What lady's that, which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. And beauty too rich for use, but for earth too dear. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Or did my heart love till now, that forswear its sight? For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague! Fetch me my rapier, now!
What dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Tybalt! Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
Is he that villain, Romeo?
Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for the wealth of all the town, here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will. The which if thou respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What goodman boy I say he shall go to. Am I the master here or you? Huh? Oh, go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set cock-a-hoop. You'll be the man.
But, Uncle, there's a shame.
Go to. You are a saucy boy. Is it so indeed? This trick may chance to scathe you. I know what you must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time! Oh, well said, my heart. You are a princox. Go, be quiet, or more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What? Cheerly, my heart.
Dai, vieni con me, non fare dei dramma stasera, Tybalt, ti prego, stai tranquillo e calmo. Ti prego, ti prego, ti prego.
Patience, perforce, with willful choler meeting, makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. Ah! I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this, my lips. Two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do, they pray. Grant now, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kissed by the book.
Marry, bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell ya, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, be gone. The sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
What is yon gentleman?
I know not.
We'll go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy.
Oi, oi, oi. What's this, huh? What's this?
Rhyme I learnt even now of one I danced withal.
Anon, anon. Come, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
Can I go forwards when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy centre out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
Nay, he's wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leaped this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure to Romeo, humour's madman, passion lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry but ay me. Pronounce but love and dove. He heareth not. He stirreth not. He moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eye, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domains that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, that will anger him.
No, this cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand till she hath laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Ba-boom. Now will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that she were. Oh, that she were an open arse, and thou a popper in pear. Romeo! Good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Hey, but soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. So arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. No, be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off! It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were.
Saluti.
She speaks. Yet she says nothing. And what of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. But two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there? They in her head. The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. And see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me!
She speaks! Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? Is it nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man? Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doth thy name, and for thy name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreamed in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. But my name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? That the orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I approach these walls. For stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore, thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw me here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes, and but thou love me, and let them find me here. And my life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. But I am no pilot yet. Wert thou as far as that vast shore wast with the farthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearst, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkst I'm too quickly won, I'll frown, and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo. But else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my haviour light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was where my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear that tips with silver all these fruit trees.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circle door, blessed thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
But do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self. which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
My heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It's too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. A sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. Do I hear some noise within? Dear love, adieu. Die none, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard, being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honourable, thy purpose, marriage. Send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Thy come anon. But if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee. By and by I come! To cease thy suit, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Oh, love goes towards love like schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Hist! Romeo! Hist! Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tasseled gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse, and may not speak aloud. Else would I tear the cave where Echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo.
It is my soul that calls upon my name.
Romeo!
My dear.
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 year till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till I remember it.
I shall forget. To have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird, who lets it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in its twisted gyves, and with a silken thread plucks it back again. So loving jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Good night.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Oh, would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly friar's close cell his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
Buongiorno Antonio.
Buongiorno padre.
Perché si svegliò a quest'ore?
Ma che belle giornate.
Sì, ciao.
Ciao.
Deve
vediamo.
Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities, within the infant rind of this weak flower. Poison hath residence and medicine power, for this being smelt. With that part, cheers each part, being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. To such opposed kings encamp them still in man, as well as herbs, grace, and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, friar.
Benedicity, what early tongue, so sweet saluteth me. Good cause, thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature, or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline? I'm a ghostly friar, no. I forgot that name and that name's word.
Well, that's my good cause, but where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask me it again. I have been feasting with mine enemy when, on a sudden, one hath wounded me that's by me wounded. Now, both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lie. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good cause, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds, but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined save what thou must combine by holy marriage. Now when and where and how we met, we wooed, we made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us. But today.
Holy Saint Francis. What a change is here. Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken more? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria! What a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline?
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And bakes me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I prithee chide not her I love now, doth grace for grace and love for love allow, the other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love, did read by rote, and could not spell. But come, dear waverer, come go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast. Not to his father's, I saw Balthazar.
Oh, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him, so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Oh, any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bowboy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what's his Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. He rests. His minim rests, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom, the very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, oh, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the hey, the pox of these antique, lisping, affecting fantasticos.
Oh, here comes a Romeo, here comes a Romeo.
Without his roe, like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, how art thou fishy? witchified. Now is he for the numbers that Petrarch flowed in. Laura to his lady was a kitchen wench. Dido a dowdy. Cleopatra a gypsy. Sino Romeo, bonjour. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
Such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Oh, meaning to curtsy?
No, it's most kindly hidden.
A most courteous exposition.
Well, nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink? Oh, for flower?
Right.
Well, then, is my pump well flowered?
Oh, sure, wit. Follow in this jest now, till thou hast worn out thy pump, that when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing solely singular. Boom.
Oh, single soul jest solely singular for the singleness bubble.
Oh, come, Benvolio, good Benvolio. My wits.
Hey, switch and spurs, or I'll cry 'em out.
Yea, if our wits run the wild goose chase, I am done, for thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I'm sure I have in my own 5. Ah, wonder, is not this better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art. For this drivelling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there. Stop there.
What, thou desirest me to stop in my tale? Against the hair?
Thou wouldst else have made thy tail large.
No, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I was come. But to the whole depth of my tale. I meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear.
Oh, two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter! My fan, Peter!
Oh, good Peter, to hide her face. For her fan's the fairer face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
Oh, God ye good e'en, fair gentlewoman.
Oh, is it good e'en?
'Tis no less, I tell you. For the bawdy hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I might find the young Romeo?
Well, I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say, well, if you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Aboard? Aboard? A B-A-W-D? So ho!
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir, unless a hair, sir, in a Lenten pie that is something stale and hoar ere it be spent. Music, maestro, please.
Certo, signore.
An old hair whore.
An old hair whore.
And an old hair.
An old hair whore.
Is a very good meat in a Lent.
Do-do-do-do-do.
But a hair that is whore.
Is whore.
Is too much for a score.
A score.
When it whores, ere it abates.
An old hair whore.
I'm an old hair whore.
Bravo, bravo.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? We'll to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady.
I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman nurse that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
If he speak anything against me, I will take him down. And he were lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks, and if I cannot, I shall find those that shall. Stronzo!
Stronzo!
And thou must stand there too and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure.
Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Pray you, sir, a word. And, as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say to you, I'll keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if you should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behaviour, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young. And therefore, if you should deal double with her, well, truly, sir, it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest
Oh,
unto thee
good
by-
hearty faith, mwah, mwah, and I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her? Thou dost not mark me.
Well, I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall, at Friar Lawrence cell, be shrived and married. Here is for thy pain.
Oh, no, truly, sir, not a
Go to.
penny.
I say you shall, I insist.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
Farewell. Oh. Be trusty and I'll quit thy pain. No, farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing. Oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, who would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had as lief see a toad, a very toad, to see him. I anger her sometimes, and I do tell her that Paris is the properer man.
Commend me to thy mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter! Anon! Before and apace.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's heralds should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore have the wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. Oh, but old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh, God, she comes! Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send Peter away.
Peter, stay at the gate! Oh, Santa Maria!
Now, good, sweet nurse. Oh, Lord. Oh, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a weary. Gimme leave a while. Fire, my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
I wouldst thou had my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jeez, you! What haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse me. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied, is't good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. What, Romeo? Ha! Not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body. Though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench. Serve God. What, have you dined at home? La, 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 la.
No! No! All this did I know before. What says he about marriage? What of that?
Oh! My back. Oh, no, the other side, my back. My back. Oh, beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch me death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me what says my love.
Your love says, like an honest gentleman and a courteous and a kind and a handsome and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she's within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Marry, come up, I trow. Is this a poultice for me aching bones? Shh! Henceforth, but do your messages yourself.
Such a coil come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner, hie you to the cell.
Die, fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
Carissima.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not. Here comes the lady.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, lady, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Oh, Juliet. If the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbour air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one. I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl, for now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of these fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws him on the tapster. Well, indeed, there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
As what two?
Nay, and there were two such, we should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou wilt quarrel with a man that hast a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. Thy head is as full of quarrels as an egg is full of meat. Thou hast quarrelled with a man for coughing in the street, because he has wakened thy dog that has lain asleep in the sun. And yet thou wilt tutor me from quarrelling.
And were I so apt to... By my head, here come the Capulets.
Oh, by my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good e'en. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Oh, could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortst with Romeo.
Consort? What? Dost thou make us minstrels? And you make minstrels of us, look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zones, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Yet men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. Romeo! The love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, whose name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Alla stoccato, Tybalt, you rat catcher. Will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing. But one of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal. Will you pluck your sword out of its scabbard? By the ears make haste. Lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Comes up! Your passado.
Your fiddlestick.
Mercutio, Tybalt!
I'm hurt. A plague on both your houses. I'm sped.
Away, Tybalt.
Where is he gone and hath nothing?
What, art thou hurt?
Yeah, a scratch. A scratch. May fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. But 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. Boom. Unpeppered I warrant for this world. A plague on both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat. To scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house. No, Benvolio. Huh? Or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They've made worms meat of me. I have it. And soundly, too.
Your houses! With this gentleman, the prince's near ally, and my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt on my behalf, and my reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt that an hour hath been my cousin. Oh, sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo. Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
For this day's black fate on more days doth depend. And this but begins the woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again!
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respect of lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. And now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gave me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads. Stain for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort him here shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo! Away! Be gone! The city's interrupt and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will do me death if thou art taken. Hence be gone. Away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool!
Why dost thou stay, Balthazar?
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, my cousin, oh, my brother's child, oh, prince, oh, cousin, husband, oh, the blood is spilt of my dear kinsman. Prince, as thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
An envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And Tybalt turned and fled, but by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affections make him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all of those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him? He slew Mercutio? Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, prince!
He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offence, immediately we do exile him hence.
No.
I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.